Have you guys heard of Andrew Tate before?
No.
No. The kickboxing world champion?
No.
No.
Tons of hoes?
No.
Hose?
Yeah.
Like ho-hos?
He's got his hose.
Hose. Like hose?
Yeah, girls shouldn't drive. Yeah, haram.
Yeah. So
Wait, what was that? It's haram for girls to drive.
Of course it is.
Why is that?
I believe if you're in a difficult situation in a plane and the pilot, the first person going to panic is the female. I believe that females panic quicker than men. I believe that's evolutionary. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. We have different roles in society and life. Women do different things better than men. However, when it comes to high stress environments, the fact that a woman is capable and intelligent doesn't actually apply because she will panic under pressure.
No, I think you're completely wrong. Women are a lot stronger than you think, and we're fearless. And I resent the fact that you think that we're cowards.
So if we were going down in a plane,
Right.
you wouldn't care what gender was controlling it?
No, I seriously think you're a chauvinist.
Chauvinist?
Yeah, because he thinks women are not capable or not as strong as men, which is ridiculous.
I'm not a misogynist. I'm a realist.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
He's a realist, not a misogynist.
Can I tell you something though?
You can speak. You can't tell me anything because you're too young.
Okay,
You can speak and I'll listen.
All right, I'll speak. I've met female drivers that are really good at driving. You get what I'm saying?
An exception does not listen, my friend.
Yeah.
An exception, and I'm not saying there are no women who can drive. I'm a professional, so now I'm gonna have to be very, very particular with my language because I've already learned here. It's early on in this stream. When I say something, I don't want you to misunderstand what I say or try and put words in my mouth. I said that women cannot drive, right?
Yeah.
And my point was obviously a generalization. The general point is that, in general, on average, females are not as good at driving as men. I'm not saying that there are no women on the planet who are as good.
Wait, Andrew, my friend?
Well, I think women are very good drivers and men are aggressive drivers because they always feel they have to prove something. So, again, I do resent you battering women again.
Why are you holding the ears down so you could hear better?
I'm deaf.
Women's hearing isn't as good as men's.
Men can't hear at all.
No.
Only when they want to hear.
Only.
That's right.
That's right. You hear only what you want to hear. And take it from the sisters. We buried 3 of our husbands. They didn't listen to us. I am 80 years old and I have a perfect driving record.
Didn't you just say the other day that you can't park?
Well, that's not driving, that's parking.
I think 99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead.
You know what a body count is?
No.
How many people a woman has slept with?
1, my mother.
Oh no! No, your husband.
Wait, what?
How many people women have slept with?
Yeah, that's what a body count is.
How
So
many?
have women
No.
slept with?
How many men have you slept with?
How many men have I slept with?
I'm not asking you, I'm saying that's what this is.
I slept with 1 man. Not that I'm happy about that.
Because it would prevent all of the disintegration of morals. It would prevent so many things about the world.
But you know what, there's like a lot
And women would be like, to be with me as a man, I don't want to put another number on my forehead. You have to be a good man. They wouldn't stop f***ing these idiots and stop being idiots. And all the idiocy would disappear. All the degeneracy would disappear. Families would return. Virgins meeting their first man, staying with him her whole life and being proud of it. Couldn't we go back to such a beautiful age? All we have to do is start putting numbers on girls' foreheads. We could fix everything.
We don't have to prove anything to anybody. 1 man for me was plenty, and I was very happy with that 1 man. If you're insecure, if you have to sleep with a lot of women, that's a problem you might want to consider.
Do you have any thoughts about that? Do you think
No, I
women
agree
sleeping
with them.
You do agree with them?
With him, you agree?
Yeah, I'm a terrible driver.
No,
That's not what we're talking about.
The
more women sleep with other people, it's like a problem.
I wouldn't know.
So that's what he's saying.
Okay,
he's saying
no.
it breaks women essentially.
No.
When they
No.
sleep with a bunch of people, you don't think it matters at all.
Yes, it matters.
It matters.
It does matter.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
does.
So you agree with it?
Definitely.
That's
I agree
what
with
he's
him.
saying.
I told
Yes.
you.
Well, you got to tell him.
I did.
You're telling Sonny, but you
No,
got
you're talking to me.
Talking to that.
Oh, we're talking to you? Well, who's that guy?
That's just who we're watching. That's Tate.
1 man is enough. I'm married 64 years, so I was with 1 man for 64 years. That's enough. Who the hell wants to go with every other other guy. That's
Yeah, what do you
sick.
got to prove?
That's what they're
Yeah.
telling young girls nowadays.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's what he's
Exactly.
saying is to like go back to more traditional values.
Yeah,
But since
exactly.
traditional
Yes,
values aren't
yes.
as popular nowadays,
Anybody can
that's
sleep
why
around.
he's not liked.
Anybody can sleep around, but why would you?
You-
If you're in
it's
love
like-
with one man, that's
right.
it.
That's it.
So he's saying if women like had their body count on their foreheads,
Yeah.
Right.
it would
Yeah.
solve
Well, what
world
about
problems.
them? What about their body on their foreheads?
Who, the guys?
The
Yeah.
guys.
Well, another point is
That's
it's
bullcrap.
not as important for
Oh,
guys.
I know.
Bull, bull, bull.
What did upset me is this. They talk about men's mental health all the time. They pretend they care about us. But it's extremely difficult to be a man. It's very, very hard to go out there and become important as a man. You have to work your ass off.
It was hard.
It's hard, bro. You need to get in the gym. You need to get money. You need to be smart. You need to be charismatic. You need to be interesting. You have to have a nice house and a nice car. You need to be funny. You have to learn all these things. And I'm out there telling guys, look, it may not be fair, but that's the way the game works. I will teach you how to do it. You're not going to be important unless you go out there and make yourself important. I'm going to motivate you. I'm not going to try and tell you it's okay to be weak. I'm going to say, no, you need to be strong. I'm going to tell you how you can do it. Here's how you get a strong mind. I'm trying to help men not feel depressed anymore, because that's what I do. I get thousands of emails a week from men saying I've helped them with their depression, changed their way the world, changed their worldview. Their life's been better. Their marriage is better. Whatever it is, my son is now going to the gym because of you, Andrew, after he watched you on TikTok. I am helping so many people, and they pretend they care about men's mental health, and then they look at me and go, nah, we don't really care about men's mental health. Silence him, and let's give them someone else to watch who they don't feel an affinity to. Men are only going to follow men they feel an affinity to. There's nothing wrong with men like me who want to live traditionally masculine lives. There's nothing wrong with wanting a nice car and a beautiful girl and to be a gentleman and to walk through life with honor and respect and dignity. That's all I teach. And they want to silence men like me, leave a whole bunch of men out there in the dark, and then try and fill my void with a whole bunch of creators who people don't feel affinity to and don't want to learn from. They don't care about men's mental health. They don't care about you. They don't care about men. And it annoys me when they're the ones who are going to say, oh, men's mental health, men's mental health. It's bullshit.
What do you think of that? Because he got canceled. Like, they took his platform away
Oh,
because of the
really?
stuff he's saying.
I totally agree with everything he said.
You don't think it's harder life as a man than a woman?
No, I don't.
I do.
You do?
Because a man has the responsibility of supporting his household, supporting his family, supporting everyone, and we marry them and we're home, we have children, we have a choice to go out and work and make, but it all falls on his shoulders to make our life better.
Financially.
Yes, and if he can do that, that makes him happy and it makes his mental health better.
Okay.
I mean, women can go to work and help the situation, but once we have babies, we're home and they still have to go out there.
In our generations, we were home.
Even some when they have a baby, it doesn't pay if you're up there successful. It's one thing, but the average housewife who has high school or a couple of years of college, they're not going out making a lot of money. So some of it doesn't pay because of what you have to pay for daycare.
Well, that's in this day, but in our day, it wasn't like
No,
that.
but in this day, it is. We didn't have that. We had our mother's
Well,
home.
number
and-
one, men work. I went to work. I came home, took care of the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, the shopping, everything. He came home. I fed him. He laid on the freaking couch, and I did all the work. So what the hell is the difference? I did just as much work as he did.
But
and
for
more.
a man, you don't know what his mental state was.
If it was that bad, he would have been gone long ago.
Well, maybe in your case, but
Long ago.
I think the man has the bulk of the responsibility.
In the financial system.
Well, this is
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you put money in a man's
Yeah,
pocket, they're
but-
happy.
Yeah, but I put extra money in his pocket
Well, we
because I
all
went
did.
to work.
Yes, I worked.
So it works both ways.
Yeah.
It does. It works both ways.
I just disagree. I think like as a man, you're actually born with nothing, and basically
Well, yeah.
everything you do, you have to build up these attributes to
Well,
yourself.
so we're born with nothing.
It's not really true though. 'cause-
Well, it is.
Why don't you think it's
Why
true?
don't you think it's true? You're the man. I'm the girl.
I mean, I don't
This
know
is
if you
an
guys are gonna get
argument.
upset with me about
Yeah,
this.
no,
No,
we're
that's
not
okay.
upset. No,
A
no,
woman,
no.
I say like a woman's one of her biggest assets is her looks.
Yeah.
So if she's born beautiful,
Yeah.
her life is automatically going to be way easier, or even just born decent looking. She can automatically get a man to take care of her.
What about the homely ones?
The ugly ones.
Yeah, what about them?
That's kind of the
I
point.
mean,
Like they're
think
valid.
about
They're,
it.
like,
You can't make favoritism.
You have to marry the guy from Starbucks.
you gotta marry the Starbucks guy. Yeah.
No, I think a man
But I
has
think
more
in
on
general,
his
as a
shoulders.
guy, like if you're a good-looking guy, it only gets you so far in life. You still have to do everything else. you know, you have to make your own money. You
Yeah.
have to do all this stuff. It's just different as a woman. You
I
can
mean,
have a guy
your
provide for you.
generation is college and all. My generation was not college. Those men didn't go to college. They're lucky they graduated high school, half of them.
Yeah.
But they made good livings.
I think that society's making it harder for women with all the stuff they're telling them that is goes against what they're meant to do. Like they're telling women to sleep around nonstop,
Yeah, that's
Yeah, well,
ridiculous.
that's
do all
not-
this
yeah.
reverse gender roles, and
Right.
that's just not what women
No.
are meant to
no,
do.
No, and I don't agree with that.
And then
at
that
all.
hurts their mental health, and then no wonder they think life's harder because you're putting the responsibilities of a man on a woman for a
And
lot
you
of this
think of
stuff.
this: your generation is 100% different than our generation. Think
Yeah.
about that. I mean, I'm in my 80s. You're a young fella, 19 years old. It's completely different.
You don't go to the club with your friends. I don't know what kind of bitch-ass dude is letting his chicks go to the club with her friends without him. No. You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurants, no clubs, nothing.
So when you guys were married, were you going out to clubs
Oh, yeah.
and
No.
bars without
Oh,
your
yeah.
husbands?
Oh, no, not without our
no.
husbands.
I don't believe the women should be in clubs or bars or whatever.
Not without their
But
husbands.
there's
There's-
nothing wrong with going to a play with a
Or lunch.
girlfriend or lunch
Yeah.
with a girlfriend.
But he said clubs.
He said, wait, what do you talk? You mean like girl going with her girlfriend?
Yeah, to
Well,
the
yeah,
club.
if you're going to like the play or
Right,
that's
right.
totally
Yeah,
different.
He's
That's
talking
it.
about
He
clubs.
promotes them. Well,
Yeah.
he has multiple girlfriends.
Yeah.
So he likes to just tell all his girlfriends to go do that stuff together.
Right,
So he doesn't
exactly.
have to do it.
But what he said, stay in the house. Don't go
Well,
out.
that's,
Well,
I
it's
think
just-
it's more of an expression. But if you don't want her to go to clubs,
You're
then
not
you
going
don't
either.
go to clubs.
You're not going either.
You see where
Yeah.
I see, but then his thing is like his status, like he's, you know, one of the most famous men in the world. It's like it's not as important for him to, you know, like these double standards and stuff.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Like
right.
all these famous rappers and stuff, like they're not
They
monogamous.
have to keep
They're-
themselves out there.
Them be a guy with a high status being
Right.
monogamous isn't as important as a woman.
No, well, I think
but
it
that's
is.
not. No.
That's the women who are strictly in it for the wealth. I'm not gonna. So he's fooling around. I got the beautiful house and the big diamond rings, so I'm not gonna let him go. So go screw whoever you want, but just come home and pay for my house and pay for my car and my trips. Those women aren't happy. They're only fooling themselves.
If he's
But
sleeping
you're
around.
saying it's okay for the man to fool around because he has more.
I think it depends. I'm just
Status?
saying. I depend. Yes, it depends on status. Like as a guy gains more status and he becomes more important, his monogamy becomes less important in the relationship.
No,
No,
not
well,
no.
that's why there's so many divorces,
Right.
And so many screwed up kids. All these
Yeah.
people
And
with
marriages,
money,
yeah.
all these people in Hollywood and even in high government, you see, you think they have everything.
How do you think
And
the
they're more
wife
screwed
feels?
up.
The wife feels
I
his,
mean-
his face is plastered all over television with so and so and so and so. I'm supposed to accept that
Yeah.
because of his status? No, I'll
Or
get
even
more
that-
in a divorce.
Yeah, but like you
if
said,
he-
it's different with the genders. Like you just
No.
said, it's not as important.
Well, he
if you have a
yeah.
guy that you love, you don't want to be seeing other guys.
Of course
Guys naturally, if they, you know, it does. If they even have a girl they love, they can still go fool around and then
No.
come back to
No.
this girl. That's just what he's saying.
I
Yeah,
know,
I know.
but I
I
don't
know.
know what kind of woman
But in real
would
life,
really,
No.
really put up with that unless she really don't care about him to begin with and just
she's just
Give me
caring what she
everything.
has.
It's
For
the
the money.
same thing, Sonny.
Yeah.
If you had a girlfriend and you were crazy, crazy in love with her, and she feels it's okay to go sleep
Sleep
with
around.
somebody.
Well, it's
Yeah.
different. That's
no, but it's
Well,
You
not.
wouldn't be happy with that, would
she
you?
has a
But
high
it's
status.
I do agree that it's different for men and women. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
like women's body count is talked a lot more than guys. You
Right.
know, like
No.
a woman
Oh, no,
going
it is.
around and being
Right.
a hoe means a lot more in a relationship coming
Than a
forward
man.
than a man
Oh,
doing
no,
it. A lot of the
it does.
time,
Yes.
Sure.
women want their partner to have more experience ahead of time rather than.
No, I don't
Well,
think
maybe
so.
before they're married,
Before-
but not once you make a commitment.
But yeah, but women don't look for a guy and they're like, oh, he's a virgin. Like, thank God. Men naturally, if they could pick how many people their partner
Right.
slept
Well,
with,
truthfully, I
they'd
didn't-
say zero.
I never thought about my husband being a virgin. Did you?
No.
I
even
never thought about mine
that.
either.
No.
Never thought about it.
Before
Then
you
you
But it
learn
matters to
together.
guys. It's
But before
different.
Oh yeah, I
you're
know.
married.
They don't want their.
So that's
youth.
that answers the question
Yeah,
though
that's-
of
you're right.
why it does matter.
They wouldn't want their wife to be that way.
The men don't get tagged. They get they're tagged as whoremasters, and that's a
Oh,
good
no.
thing. But a woman, she's just tagged as a
A
whore.
pig. Yeah.
But
No,
there's
it's
a
not a
reason for
bad
that.
word.
It's because, like, you know, a
It's-
woman's body count is
Right.
It's
somewhat
somewhat-
attached
yeah.
to her value. If she's
I
been, if
agree.
she slept with
I agree
100
with you
men,
there.
Right.
then her value is like.
But the man could
You
sleep
know,
with
no
100
one's-
women, and they say he's a hero.
No, but the thing is, once you make a commitment, I don't care if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, you don't
Yeah.
have a commitment. You don't have a commitment. But once you marry and
Married.
take a vow to protect and honor and all that other
You
stuff,
shouldn't sleep around.
you shouldn't be sleeping around because what's
Once
that?
you're married.
What's
No.
that vow mean?
Some little pussy-ass dude once said to me, yeah, but if it's next to your bed, what if you, like,
keeps
upset
a
a
machete
girl and
next to
she
his
catches
bed.
you cheating and gets a machete? Bro. What would a woman do? Slap the machete, slap her in the face. One hand, machete, and then backhand. I perfected this in pimp school. When I got my PhD, we had to practice if a girl comes at you, you cheater, you cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck. Shut up, bitch!
So that's what he's saying. If a woman caught him cheating and he has his machetes in his room, that's what people were saying because he sleeps around. So
Well,
he's
I
like,
was-
how could you feel safe with the machete when a girl's there? Saying,
Well, no. If my husband fooled around and had a machete in bed and came home, I cut off his head. Both of them.
I cut off something else.
I said both of them.
My dad died when I was in Romania, and I had just moved my business from London to Romania, and I bought this new house, and I spent all my money. This was before I got big, so I had some money, but I spent all of it. And then my dad died, of course. I was supposed to go to his funeral, so I had to make a big decision. And I remember when I first started making my money, and my dad was still alive, the first thing I did with my money, was retire my mom. So, how much do you get paid? She told me, I said, I tripled it, you're not working anymore. I had to make the choice whether I stay there and focus on the business or go to my dad's funeral. And I remember my dad's lessons. My dad would have been furious if I f***ed up the financial stability of the family and of my mother and of my brother to just go to his funeral. My dad knew I loved him. I spoke to him every single day. He's a chess player. He's a logical man. Get your business running, then come to the grave, do it that way. If I could give all this up now to get my dad back, of course I would. So what's the best thing to do? To live without my father poor or live without my father rich? I made the choice to miss his funeral, to take care of my mother. It's paid off fantastically. To this day, my mother's still retired. My mother was, at the time, she was cleaning dishes in a school kitchen in Luton. And now she gets to drive a nice car and live in Spain for most of the year. I did the right thing. And I know my father, if he's looking down on me, would be very, very proud of me because I made the logical decision.
Well, first of all, I think you're making excuses. How long would it take you to go to your father's funeral?
he
2
lived in-
days?
He was in Romania
Right.
and it was in the U.S.
So 3 days, 4 days out of your life is going to destroy your business? And I would have went for my mother. Yes, your father is dead. He's not going to know or care one way or the other. But I'm sure deep down your mother would have liked you there.
That's funny. You guys all said the same exact thing.
Oh, really?
You go for the family. You go and stand next to your mother like a man at your father's funeral.
But I'd be there to support my mother and my family.
Yes, for your mother. And
But does it make a difference that the parents were separated?
well, it depends on the relationship with your, how your mother felt about your father. If you knew your mother still really loved your father,
Well, they were separated. So
yeah,
they,
I know you could be separated and still like one of our sisters.
Well, he had a sister though, so that was my mom's point. Was He
Yeah.
also has a sister,
Well,
so you got to be there for your
well,
sister.
I think maybe if they're separated, there's no
Why wouldn't he
relation
want to
there.
go to his father's funeral?
Well,
he spent like all of his money finishing like pretty much all his money investing into this new business. So he would have had to spend like pretty much the last of what he had. He also just like moved to Romania. He ran a cam girl business, so he had all his girlfriends come to Romania with him, and that was like at the very start.
Funeral.
And that was at the very start though. So if he left for a week, came back, the girls probably would have just left, and that would have been kaput for that whole business.
Yeah.
And that business is ultimately what made him a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
well, it depends on the relationship with
So
his father.
was simply going to the funeral worth it over being like that? Being the big factor that turned him into a millionaire.
No.
But Aunt Fran just made a point. What's the relationship with the father?
If there's no relationship with the father, he hasn't seen him in years, there was nothing going on, well, you know what, maybe, I haven't seen him.
I agree.
And if they're separated and the mother does have no feelings and no, he's gone or whatever. But if he had a relationship with his father,
that's different.
I think he should have gone there. Your business isn't going to fold in 3 days.
2 days, whatever.
2, 3, 4 days that he would have had to go, especially with the internet.
That's
you
right.
do a lot on that. So I think you're dead wrong if you had a relationship with your father not to respect him enough to go.
This was
Down his
also like
business.
8 years ago, so it was a little before the
Yeah.
Making excuses for him. him.
Yeah.
I'm explaining his
You go to
point.
your father's
Funeral.
funeral.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Excuse me, but if I were the mother and it was a choice of him taking care of me, stay there. Take care of me.
All right, I have a final clip to react to.
There's a guy who watches my videos with his mother, and she's pretty base. So she made a very, very good point that I loved.
What about their fact checkers? Remember all their fact checkers and how we were supposed to trust them? But when they want Tate to be called a misogynist, they don't fact check those little fake TikToks and fake videos.
What a fucking excellent point. Fact checkers who are out here to protect the truth. They never exist to save anybody from anything. What a fucking amazing point.
That was a very brilliant girl that said that.
They want Tate to be called a misogynist. They want him to be taken down.
What a fucking amazing point.
Good-looking woman, looks great for her age. She has kids who are obviously 21, 22 years of age. She hasn't got green hair. You know, she carries herself well. Her son's in shape. I immediately know if it's a hit piece or some bullshit video, or I know if it's a good video, just from what they look like.
And of course, you can't judge a book by its cover.
That's
That's always been, and it always will be. I mean, you can look at me and say, well, you can't say anything because I said so. But you don't know me, or to judge me, or to say if I'm mean or if I'm nice. I mean, I happen to be nice, but you can't judge a book by its cover. So
Yeah, what do you guys think of Tate overall? What would you give him 1 out of 10?
Well,
1 to 10. What would you give him?
first of all, it was very. I would give him a 7. I think a lot of this is publicity and saying
The way
things.
he says things.
Yes,
Yeah.
the way you say things is kind of aggressive, and maybe not all your ducks aren't in a row, and you want it to irritate women.
Respectful.
Yeah.
1 to 10.
I would give him a 9.
A 9?
Yeah, only because I might not agree with what he says, but he says what he means, what he thinks.
Yeah.
So I think you know where he's coming from. You don't have to agree with him.
That's right.
But I like the fact that he says what he believes.
Despite it being so against what's propagated all
Right,
over the
right.
media.
Even if I think half of it I don't agree with, you know.
Well, this is all to make us, to get a rise out of us. So things that he's saying is exaggerated.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
piss you
correct.
off.
Yeah, right. So
Well, what's your 1 to 10?
I'll say 7.
7? 7.7 overall.
In person with him, we'd have some argument.
Yeah.
Yes, in person, yeah.
first of all, we would yell at him for cursing.
Put soap in his mouth.
Thank you, Aunt
That was
Fran,
me.
and Patsy, and Aunt Santa.
That was
Thank you
me.
for coming on.
Can we see something? Not all of it, but
You did a great job.
I said, oh my God, there's a big fucking crack in the facade.